So welcome back to another episode, and today's episode is, do I need another Nintendo Switch? Now I know the OLED was announced quite a bit ago now, and I didn't talk about it. I just was kind of looking at what was going on, and I thought, interesting. And so many of my friends have said to me, are you getting the OLED? Are you going to do this? I'm going to ask you guys, first of all, are you buying this new Nintendo Switch OLED? With a bigger screen and all that. We're going to get into it all here. I'm going to say something here to begin with. First of all, I'm very happy that I didn't ever make one video about the Switch Pro rumors that were going around. I'm so glad I didn't do that, and I saw everybody else in the universe doing it, and I was kind of like laughing to myself going, it's not going to be what you think. It's not going to be what you think. And the reason why is everybody was expecting this big 4K Nintendo Switch, huge improvement. I was hoping it would be called a Super Switch if they released this thing, but I was like, no, I know Nintendo, I know their history, and I know how they do things. Has anybody ever got a Nintendo DS, a Nintendo DS XL, a 3DS, a 3DS XL, a new 3DS XL, a new Nintendo DS XL. They're all improvements on the last models, but they're always like minor improvements. They're always like going up a little bit. Then they don't jump up super quick, super fast to the top. I've never seen that happen. Not when we're still in the land of the Nintendo Switch doing extremely well. They're not gonna bump it up to an extraordinary level yet. I think they'll come out with a Nintendo Switch Pro model eventually, but not for probably about a year. So am I interested in the OLED? I will say this. I think it's interesting. I love it that we have a 7-inch screen. I think that's really, really nice. And a really brighter screen. Better sound. That's only a good thing, right? The one thing that I did enjoy was the new kickstand. I was like, thank God for that. We really need a new kickstand because on the original right here, this kickstand, I broke it off so many times, having it on a park bench or on a bus or anywhere where I would try to put it down on a seating or on a table. It'd always pop off and I'm always like trying to put it on, and I always thought that was probably the weakest thing with the original Nintendo Switch. I was like, who came up with this idea? It's so cheap and gimmicky. I think the new one looks strong and it looks like it will really, really work the way it's supposed to work. Now, more internal memory, 64 gigabytes is a great thing as well. I already have an SD card in here to expand the memory, so I feel pretty good with that. I always feel like I have enough memory, so there's that kicking in. But my God, in Canada here, the price is $449, let's just say $450 Canadian. I'm saying that right now. It's Canadian. But for a brand new Switch model with just some minor upgrades. I mean, yeah, the new screen is gorgeous. I get it. That's the one thing that allures me a little bit. But I need to spend $450 on a new screen? Really? Because I'm going to say this. Here's my Nintendo Switch right here. And I want to say, I honestly really like it. I've never found any need to say, oh my God, I need, the screen's not adequate enough for me. I come from the days of the Game Boy, okay, where I'd be sitting on a bus and I could not see the screen. Okay, so over the years with the Game Boys, they've gotten better and better. The screen's gotten better to a point now where I think the Nintendo Switch screen is beautiful. I've never been sitting anywhere going, I can't see the screen. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit of glare at times. I give it that, but still, from the olden days, I'd be a happy camper. If I could send myself one thing back in time to when I was a younger kid, it would be a Nintendo Switch. Because the amount of times I'd be there with my Game Boy and the magnifying glass and the light on it, trying to play a game, and I'm like, man, if I had this back then, I would be playing this in bed on a night, and it would be awesome. It would be so awesome, especially the games that they have on it. So I think the library of the Nintendo Switch is amazing, and I've enjoyed playing every single game on handheld. But I'll say this much: another reason why I'm not interested in the OLED at this point, I play most games on the TV with the Pro Controller here. I'm playing Skyward Sword with the Pro Controller. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm experiencing that game. I do like video games on a television screen, but for taking it along with you, Kim plays it more in handheld mode, and that's what I want to say. Yes, I was interested in the Switch Lite, and I like the idea that it reminded me of an old Game Boy all in one, and a little bit more solid. The Joy-Cons were always a little bit loosey, and so I really enjoyed this idea, and it also gave me and Kim the ability to have a Switch each, and that was perfect. But now they've introduced this new model. It's like, do I need to jump on that new model? And I'm going to say this. I am not getting the new OLED Nintendo Switch because for me personally, I don't need it. The Nintendo Switch right now currently is doing everything that I need it to do for me and for Kim. And I even said to Kim the other day, I said, hey, there's a new Nintendo Switch. She didn't even know. And she's going, oh, really? And so I said, yeah, it's got a bit of a brighter screen. It's a little bit bigger and all that. She's like, oh, okay. There was not even a thing like, oh, you need to get that. Or, oh, that would be really enhancing our lives because it's subtle. I think this new OLED Nintendo Switch is great for anybody who just wants the best new thing from Nintendo. I think you're going to get that. But I think it works perfectly amazing for anybody who does not have a Nintendo Switch yet. If you don't have a Nintendo Switch and you're thinking about jumping on board, get that model. Without question, what a way to jump in. That's perfect. But for me, with the Switch as is, I can't complain. I mean, and yeah, I'll say this. If Nintendo did send over a review copy, I would review it for the show to see the differences. But for me personally, I can't justify getting it. It doesn't make any sense. And I think for most Nintendo Switch users out there, we all feel pretty satisfied, right? Nobody's out there complaining and yelling at the sky or anything like that. So yes, it's interesting that the rumors turned out to be the OLED. And that's what I always found fascinating. I was like, haha, as I said earlier on, with all of the 2DSs and 3DSs and the upgrades there, and over the years with all the Game Boys, it made sense for them to do this and not deliver some absolutely outrageous device that would take it away from the Switch family, because the Switch is doing well and they want to keep it in the zone for now. I wonder in the future if there will be like a Metroid Prime 4, if it will have updated graphics or something that a new Switch would take advantage of, that will take it away. You could play on the regular Switch, but it'd be enhanced on a Pro Switch or something. Will they do something like that? It's potential. That's something I can see them doing, as I said earlier, in about a year's time. So again, I will ask you, are you getting the OLED Switch? And if you are, tell me why. I'd be fascinated to know the reasons, especially if you don't have one and you're getting that one. That's awesome. What a way to get it, as I say. So I just wanted to come in and give some thoughts on the OLED because I haven't done it, and I thought today would be a perfect time to do so. So anyways, guys, until next time.